Hi, this is Brent Hess here with the Real Influence Podcast, a platform dedicated to bringing back the true meaning of influencer. In the recent years, it's gotten so watered down and really lost its meaning. The people doing the biggest influences in their communities are usually the furthest thing away from trying to create some online persona. This isn't to throw any shade at those selling chapsticks, lotions, and potions to their social media accounts online, but more so to give the younger generations and my kids a small insight into true influence, its impact, and its attainability. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Boom, here we are. Let's dive right in. I'm here with Oleg, the Hyena Johnson. How you doing
How you
today,
doing?
Oleg?
Doing good, man. How are you?
Very good, very good. Glad we could
Good.
get you on here before
Sure.
the big show here, Champions League Boxing, July 13th at Hook Hall. You got a big matchup coming up, but let's get into what got you into the sport of boxing and start there.
Right. I think what got me in is mostly like kind of like my life, some my past bringing up all the way up to now. Um, and also the sport of wrestling. When I was in high school, I was introduced into wrestling, and I kind of climbed my way up from freshman year all the way through to senior year, and that was kind of like a really big transformation for me because I went in like I was pretty good. I was strong, talented, doing my thing, but I didn't have the skills, so I would get beat by people who just had really good technique. And so over the years, I kind of learned. I saw myself improve in the technique that I had in wrestling by the end of my senior year, and I transitioned to go to college for a D3 school in Roanoke, Ferrum College, and I wrestled there for like half a year, and then I stopped, and I was like, what do I really want to do? And then I was like, I always loved fighting. Like I love the competitiveness of it, the danger of it. Like what else could a man do? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But fight, right? So that I was like, yo, I'm gonna get into boxing. I'm gonna start training boxing because I see myself improve wrestling. I see how I've been nothing and then became something. So I'm like, I know I can do it in boxing too. And I'm quick, athletic, like I move different. So like, why not? And so I started training in 2020. Continue training through COVID, kind of on and off. Like didn't have a coach, didn't have nobody, just looking at YouTube videos, like trying to get better. Been in my backyard, still in my backyard training every single day. On the bag. You know how it is, throwing kicks, imagine it, talking to your imaginary friends type shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, but anyway, training all the way up to this point. That's what kind of inspired me is that growth. That improvement part where
Yeah.
you start being nobody, where you're like, what am I doing? Wow, I'm confused. And then you become something by doing it over and over and over. And then you
Yeah.
see that improvement. And you see that you can do it, whatever
Yeah.
it is. Uh,
I'm
so
sure
yeah, that improvement.
boxing's kind of rounded off your game probably since you were a wrestler before, right? And now boxing, it's like, man, you're gonna be a tough guy to beat here pretty soon.
Yeah, no, it has. No, boxing has transformed my game in wrestling as well because I used to view it as a very explosive type of sport, wrestling. Like you go in, you grab them, you take them down, and you hold them down, working these moves. But then I figured out with boxing, there's footwork, there's feints, there's fakes, there's setups, and
Yeah.
all that transition into wrestling beautifully as well. And wrestling transitions really well into boxing in the balance and having the powerful punches, and so
Yeah.
it's both going to each other. So
I like that. Now I gotta know before we get into influence, because this interview is about influence. I gotta know the name Hyena. Give it to us. How'd you get that name
the hyena.
and everything like that?
Well,
That's a unique
well,
name.
I
I don't know
really
if I've
like
heard that
that.
one before.
Right, right. I really like that animal. First of all, it's a unique animal. It has a weird sound when it sounds like it's laughing, but also
Yeah.
like when I'm with my friends, sometimes like when something is so funny, like I would laugh and then my voice gets like high pitched and and one of my friends called me, "Bro, you sound like a hyena when you laugh," and he was trying to roast me and whatever. And since then, I was like, I do kind of sound like it. Like, I'm not gonna lie, but it was just a funny little story, something like that. But I really like that animal. That's my favorite animal, and I like how also they work in groups. You know, they're not just alone, just always. Uh, you know, like a lion is powerful, but
Yeah.
hyenas they nip, but they also have the hardest bite. They might not be the strongest, but when they do get you, they get you. So I'm saying, you know.
I like that. I like that, man. Yeah, exactly. The hyena. You don't want to mess with a hyena, man. That animal is
Yeah, it's
ferocious.
recorded the strongest bite in the animal kingdom. Like it tears off flesh, tears off bone, like crushes bone.
Jeez.
Wow,
Okay. Well, hey, now let's get
that's
into some.
why.
Thank you. Yeah, that was a good explanation, and now I know the hyena is coming to bite. Uh, give us some of your biggest influences, Oleg, and how they've kind of impacted you. It sounds like you've had quite a few. Give us some stories, a little bit of insight into that.
Well, one of my first I want to mention is my wrestling coach in high school. He was a different type of man, I can tell you. He was very, how do I say it? Like, if you're not working hard, if you're not putting in the effort, he's gonna make everybody do do over and over and over until everybody tries. Right? He'll push people to a point of death. We'll have a heavyweight that would literally be screaming every single practice because he would just make us work that hard. And so that taught me is that like nothing in life that you're gonna get is gonna be easy. That you're gonna be sitting in the back of on the couch or something. No, you gotta be working. You gotta be going in. You gotta be putting in the work. You gotta be believing in yourself. But the belief doesn't come without the work because
Right.
without the work, the belief doesn't exist. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so that's what my coach taught me. That's what my coach taught me. Coach Shoulders, shout out, right?
Yeah.
And off of my fighting style, Conor McGregor, he's so fluid. Like he can get you from any point, angles, balance. That's what I love. The counter punch. Who doesn't
Yeah.
love the counter punch? That's the
Yeah.
most beautiful punch you could do. Boom, slip, get him, knockout. What else you
Yeah.
want to see?
Yeah.
That's why
Yeah.
he
Right.
inspired me.
Right when
Love
right when they think they're hitting you, you're hitting them. So that's
what I
beautiful.
love. Yes,
Yeah.
that's inspiring towards me. It's like an art. And many other styles like the close, more Mike Tyson style is pretty good. All the styles have their own advantages, but like every one of them also has their own beauty. But I like that style. I like the rangy style. Like, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Nice. I like that insight. And now, so it sounds like you've had some good influences. Do you notice yourself being any kind of an influence to others, whether it's younger guys or more
Oh
less
yeah,
experienced guys just starting out? Tell us a little bit about that.
yeah. I noticed that as well in the gym. There's a couple of young teenagers that are training. I'm 24 myself. They're usually around like 14 to 16 years old, and they're in there putting in the work. And a lot of them, I get to spar with them. I don't try like 100%, and you're never doing sparring, but we go in and we learn. I get them a few times, but then I show them how to do it, and then they improve, and then they come up to me and ask for advice and stuff because they see that like we both kind of that I'm trying to teach them type of way. You know what I mean? Because I'm also a coach, an instructor in Taekwondo, so I teach a lot of I teach hundreds of kids on a daily on and discipline and all that. So I understand what a kid sees, and a kid just wants to improve. He just wants to be seen, and he wants a proper way of being able to get the information right. If you give the information wrong, then they're gonna go down a path that that's not good.
Right.
But
Yeah. Sounds like you're a good
but
instructor. It sounds like
but
you're very well rounded, teaching
yeah,
taekwondo, wrestling, boxing. I mean, come on. The hyena is well
yeah.
rounded.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to do everything at once. It seems.
Nice. Nice.
Seems
Now,
everything's
hey,
on
give
one
us.
plate. Sometimes it's a little bit too much, but it's all good.
It sounds like you're very insightful and thoughtful. Give us a quote, a motto, maybe something that you like, something that you either your coaches have told you or that you like to live by that carries you forward.
Right, right. And yeah, I was thinking about this one, and this quote really came out to me, and I've always remembered it ever since. Like my coach has said it, I've seen it online. It's a pretty popular quote, but it's hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard, right? You've heard it, everybody heard it, everybody's favorite quote. But this, I relate to that because yes, I'm a person that I believe that God has given me many abilities, a very athletic body that I'm able to maintain without even trying. Like, and I will give that all to God, you know. Um, but if I didn't put in the hard work, I wouldn't be where I am, right? So it
Right.
doesn't matter how talented you are. If you're not going to put in the work, you're not going to get where you want to be. And if even
Right.
if you're not talented, it's all about the hard work. It's all about the action. So that's what I'm saying. If you don't put in the work, you're not going to get it, even if you're
Yeah.
talented. So hard
Yeah.
work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. There you go.
Yeah. Hard work beats talent every time. Yep.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And so, all right, Oleg, give people a way that they can follow you. Give your fans and followers. I think you're going to build up a really nice following
Yeah.
there. Um,
You can
tell them
follow
how they
me
can
on
follow you.
Instagram. Yeah, on Instagram, hyena.mma.
Okay.
And the same thing on Twitter, hyena.mma. I don't really use Twitter as much, but hey, if people start following, I might start posting. I don't know. We'll
There
see.
we go. Well, thank you, my brother. Hey, once again,
Thank you,
everybody, you can see Oleg on July 13th at Champions League
sir.
Boxing at Hook Hall. Oleg, I hope training camp goes awesome for you and you continue to just roll right into fight week looking strong and healthy. And
Sir.
once again, thanks for joining us today, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
All right, see you soon.
Yes, sir.